Welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning. Let's get us right. Let's get us right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Wake that ass up. Wake that ass up. Wake it up. My bad. I'm just trying to make sure we straight. Trying to get us right here. Okay. Okay, hold on. My bad, y'all. I'm still trying to find this. Okay, no, I can't. Oh, it always do that. My bad. Every time I have it minimized. No, I don't want to discard. My bad, gang. I'm a little slow today. But let's go. Good morning. Welcome home. Welcome to Morning Bell. Let's see what they got going on. Schwab. Futures mixed.
Capital Advisors. Coming up, time for Options Corner. Tom White will take us through the charts for Seagate. Chip stocks remain under pressure this morning. We'll have more morning movers after this break.
So weird. The minute I touch my thing, I just realized too, I'm showing too much.
Hey, investors, you know the market moves.
Get more focused.
Schwab is here to help you move with it.
Let's get more focused.
Whether
Oh,
buying,
this thing
selling,
always cuts off my head at that point.
Whether you're ETFing or 401k,
Let me make some
saving,
adjustments,
spending,
y'all.
or even retiring.
Take a little
You can count on
commercial
Schwab
break.
for market insights, live
Quick
support,
little commercial
powerful
break.
trading platforms.
All right, let's get to talking.
Economy, one for the AI.
Right now, everybody's talking about the capex spend right now. The bond market is in a danger zone, y'all. What we can't have is rates go up. If rates go up, we fried, gang. Respectfully, we fried. So it's saying the bond market danger zone is becoming a new normal. For those of y'all who don't know, aren't aware, the bond market is just another indicator to be paying attention to. My bad, y'all. Just rolled out the set. Hair looking a little crazy this morning. I should have did some push-ups before I got on camera. Gang. But yeah, the bond market is just an indicator, another indicator. So 30-year Treasury yield closed above 5% for 14 straight sessions through Friday. Its long run above the level since July 2007. It has finished above 5% level 29 times this year, already the most in any calendar year since 2007. So that should tell you something. ChatGPT, what this means. Ask Google. Let's see what Google say. What does this mean for an investor? I just be trying to show y'all how easy it is to use AI nowadays. A lot of people are scared to use AI, but like this is how you're supposed to use it. It can explain things to you. Like that. A sustained 30-year Treasury yield above 5% signals that the bond market views high inflation, heavy government borrowing, and higher long-term interest rates as the new normal. I thought we were like trying to get away from borrowing. Oh man. The way that we've been even borrowing money, it's like the government has a credit card that's never ending, like a never ending Amex. It's actually very scary. It's a very scary place to be. My bad, gang. I was trying to listen to what they talking about. Because right now the big thing is the Fed rate. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I think the new guy is not going to bring it up. But who knows? You just never know nowadays.
Because, of course, you've got the administration watching very closely.
And I think he's hoping that he can sort of wait out this inflation, move up, and then eventually try to cut rates at some point next year. But I think the meeting this week is likely a no action, possibly a hike at the next meeting if we continue to see inflation and stronger economic.
See, I expect no hike. So.
You touched on something important, the relationship between the front end of the curve, how you communicate about short rates, relationship between all of that and what happens further out along the curve. What's that relationship like now?
It is very limited at best. So the expectation, even in 2024, was that as the Fed gets to cutting, you're going to see this rally at the long end of the curve. This did not materialize. And interestingly, you could say that, more recently, long rates have been trading with oil, but in reality, they've now disconnected from trading with oil. They're really moving off of the fiscal spend, and that's what the long end really cares about. The fiscal spend, the inflationary backdrop, the supply demand of treasuries. These are the things that are going to do.
See, this is the point in class where it's like, yo, this is so boring, but some of it is some of the most important information that we need to know. It's going to let us know where the market's going. So, there's a lot going on. Okay. Boeing Q2 revenue beats as jet deliveries climb. Cash turns positive. Well, that's good for the airline services, right? For the second quarter results Tuesday that beat revenue, cash flow rising. Is Boeing going up though? I'm not a fan of the airline industry. I feel like they'd be finessing. Meta BlackRock partner on $14 billion El Paso. Honestly, yo, Meta at 584. I'm not telling you to invest, but like, I've watched it hit that 584 level a few times and bounce back pretty heavy. So I don't know if that's like you'd have to do your research and see if the 584, 580 level is some type of rejection that it just bounces off. I'll take it at 525 too. Every time Meta stock drops to a low, it jumps up like within 4 weeks from what I've noticed. I could be wrong though. So don't bank on me. What's up with y'all? Is there any BTC lovers in here? I feel like the BTC world has just completely fallen out from under us. Alright, we're moving to another channel, y'all. Y'all know we like to keep it moving, keep it grooving. Saying chip sell-off, earnings, PayPal stock slide, Coca-Cola raises earning guidance, Diet Coke is having a moment. There's only 2 sodas that I drink when I do drink soda. It's ginger ale and Diet Coke. I'm not sure why I always pick up a Diet Coke, but Diet Coke has like a little taste to it. I haven't figured out what it is. I'm not saying it's good for me. I know it's probably the worst for me, but it has it got a little something to it. It got a little something to it. What's good? Shout out to my man Rasta, man. Rasta Stocks, man. Make sure y'all go check out his channel, man. He be out here, man. My man be on live. He done gave me the courage to get back on and get back into it, man. A real good friend here that I met on the channel. Shout out Rasta, man. What's up, man? What's up, Rasta? Hailing from NYC, man. Shout out to my guy, man. Shout out to my guy. But yeah, it's two sodas I like, and I don't even drink soda. I'm not an advocate for soda, but there's something in that Diet Coke. Let's see. Yet again, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar was the driving force with volume up 16%. A quarter right behind it were Diet Coke and Coca-Cola Light. I don't know, maybe it's just playing with our heads. Like, we think it's really a difference. They said Diet Coke is up 7% for the quarter, having a moment. Let's see, we have Coke Zero in certain parts of Europe beginning to build scale. You're going to hear a lot more about that in the next 12 to 18 months. Coke Zero, the current iteration of Coke Zero, has a taste profile that people like. They got, you know, it's about the mixture. They got the mixture right. They got the mixture right. I'm a fan of the Diet Coke. I'm not, you know, when, you know, and it's like you got to eat at certain times. Like when I'm eating fried food or I'm eating, you know, you got to kill some stuff off. So like when I'm eating certain things, I may throw a little Diet Coke just to make sure everything being killed off the proper way. All the bacteria, whatever. That's a wild thought, but it's all good. China production on its own DUV chip making tools. You know, if China doesn't take over Taiwan, I do expect them to just start making their own stuff. That's just what they be doing. Domestically developed immersed deep ultraviolet lithography machines. Okay, a technology crucial to advanced chip making, a person familiar with the matter said, making a key step forward in Beijing's drive to reduce its reliance on foreign technologies. You know, this is right now it's a battle of the big dogs, man. And, you know, as much as we don't want to talk about it, it is going down. Like, we need to be figuring out the best way to not be relying on other countries, and other countries need to figure out the best way not to be relying on us. It's like a game that's being played right now. It's very interesting. And of course, you know, YouTube running mad ads in the background. Let's see what they got going on.
Apple is back on top. The iPhone maker leapfrogged NVIDIA yesterday to once again become the most valuable publicly traded company.
Sir, shout out
2
to all the
years
Apple
after
investors.
it was dethroned. Apple's stock rose about 1%.
That's me if I had to disclose it.
9 trillion, while Nvidia shares dropped nearly 5%, sending it to a market value of 4.8
like
trillion.
this.
Apple appears to be benefiting from staying mostly on the sidelines amid the AI frenzy. It's not spending hundreds of billions on
I've always
AI
said that
infrastructure,
Apple was the
and therefore
best
is
cash
shielded
like
from that
stock. I
volatility
don't know
and
about
global
today, but
concerns
when I
hurting
bought,
its big tech
that's why I was
peers.
buying.
Just
It was like,
cranking
you know,
out
there's
billions of devices that
there's
people
stocks
recently
that don't
launched
really
every
like. Let's
single
look
day.
at Apple.
A
There's
beacon
stocks
of
that really
stability
don't
in a
move
frothy
too
market.
much over the year. Like,
Don't do that, but one of the
this
top
is a
posts
great
was
move up.
why the
But as
Fed
far
is
as like
Apple
just
booming so much this year, and the top
like
reply with
this is not much
1.6
movement.
thousand upvotes was,
263,
"Don't overthink it,
250,
it's
like
an
being in
edge
the same
AI."
year.
And
Let's
the
go
next top
from.
reply was, "They
Let's
didn't
find
blow their cash
January.
flow
So
on
let's see.
chips." It's pretty
January.
simple. That's really all that's going on. Apple seems
273.
like the adult in the room now. All of a sudden,
Let's
they were
see.
getting punished for not spending on chips.
January
A
2nd
few
was at
years ago. Now they
271.
seem wise for doing that. We'll see if that
April
narrative
20th.
continues going forward. And then you're right.
He's
Apple's
at 273.
such a
Like, you know what I'm
solid
saying?
cash flow
So
business underneath it all that it
it
looks
just
like
wasn't doing a lot of
beacon
shifting. So that was like a cash like stock, what I call. You know, it's not going crazy up, not going crazy down. But over time, you'd expect it to do this. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Apple. Very respectful type of business. They got me by. They got me, y'all. Was Microsoft supposed to be reporting before earnings or after? Let's see. I did a little screenshot here. Let me see. Y'all can't see this, but where's Microsoft on this list? I thought they were on Wednesday, but I could be wrong. My bad. My eyes are trying to focus. Where is Microsoft? Oh, Wednesday. Tomorrow. After the bell. Tomorrow after the bell. So the way they just jumped off this live is kind of wild.
The S&P is up 7 points. The futures at 74.55. And NASDAQ futures are down 195 points.
We got 29 minutes till the opening bell. Of course, the most important, I need y'all to know. Listen, we're going to be here either every other day, every day, as many days as we can, 8:45 to 9:45, covering the opening bell of the market. You may ask why. I need to bring more awareness. I need y'all to understand that at 9:30, when that bell rings, is when people start making money. You know, there's more high sophisticated people that make money by 7:30 a.m. But for people like me and you, when that bell ring at 9:30, I need you to know when it's 9:30, between 9:30 and 4 p.m., 3:59 p.m., people are making money, and you need to be aware so that you could be making money too, right? There's a lot of moving parts happening. There's a lot of things going on in the world, but You could be making money straight from your phone. Cash App investing. I'm a big fan of investing on Cash App. I know a lot of people don't want to be considered investors. They don't feel educated enough. But just understand that Cash App has made it as easy as possible for that to be a thing. I'm trying to make sure that this thing is focused, because it'd be pissing me off sometimes. Okay. Just had to make sure. Just it looked like it was a little off focus, you know. It's only a one-man team, and oh shit, damn, vinyl falling down. Shout out to the vinyl. Look, it just wanted a shout out. That's why I fell. Life is Beautiful album. You know, lucky for me, I got to work on some visuals on this album, so this was gifted to me. One day I may open it, but probably not, because I was there when the songs are being made, so it's not like I gotta really play the songs. But it's a nice little. I got another cool. You know, that's besides the point. That's not what we here for. But you know, I did say I was gonna start mixing things in, and I was supposed to edit today in front of y'all, but you know, the time got the best of us. And unfortunately, the stuff I need to edit this morning, I can't show y'all. So I gotta figure out what I can like work on and show y'all. Oh, actually, I'm working on a video, hopefully later today. So maybe I can do that tomorrow morning. We'll see.
Maduro regime in Venezuela, they're only producing about 100,000.
All right, so this is what I'm paying attention to right now, because this whole like off and on and the pause on the strikes just lets me know that we haven't came to an agreement with nothing yet. So I'm big on energy right now, like energy and oil, because if we don't show the world that we can't take over Iran, and I'm not saying we need to get all crazy, but if we can't show the world, then I'm a little worried about what we got going on and about our strength. Unless they're trying to take it easy right now to seem weak, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but I can't seem it. For 25 minutes to the opening bell, though, you know, we going. Look at S&P futures is up. We are getting every single ad possible being thrown at us on here. So, you know, I'm sorry, y'all. S&P futures is up. I'm assuming this is the line, and then this is the futures. I never get too happy, you know, pre-market. NASDAQ is down. Russell is up. These pre-markets be only up like a very small 0.8%, 0.08. And they'll have you gassed up. So, but here's the VIX. All right, I need y'all. Again, I don't even need to say it so y'all don't think I'm lying. I need y'all. What does this indicator tell you about the market, right? Because I need y'all to be able to do this on your own, right? That's always been my thing. I never want y'all to be dependent on me and coming on here waiting for me to tell y'all. So let's see what this index is. The VIX measures investors' expectations for 30-day stock market price swings, market fear, and overall risk. It acts as a market fear gauge using the S&P 500 index option pricing. So understanding the levels, right? These are important things that we need to understand. If you don't hear anything else, listen to this part. The VIX below 20 shows calm markets, low investor anxiety, and general stability. 20 to 30 shows growing investor concerns, hesitation, or rising market stress. Above 30 signals high fear, heavy market turbulence, and sharp drops. Now, it's saying right now the VIX is at, what was the VIX at? Pete, what was the VIX? At 18, but it did get to 20. It did reach 20, I feel like, very close to 20, I feel like, last week. Sure did. Goes to show y'all I'm paying attention. I told y'all last week it hit 20, right? And that means I'm paying attention. I remember. And the reason why, and again, just one indicator, right? You got to add, you have to add multiple pieces to the puzzle for it all to make sense, right? So you take the VIX between 20 and 30, and, for me, that seems like a time to buy. Obviously, depending on what the stock is doing. But, Warren Buffett said, buy when everybody's fearful and be fearful when everybody's buying. But, I always question some of those remarks. Like, are they outdated? Like, do people know that when the VIX go up, people are just going to buy, so everybody just starts buying? It could be a wave. But yes, this is the breakdown of what the VIX is. So continue on and do some more research on the VIX, because it explains, option movements. And again, it's going off the S&P 500 index option pricing. So your stock can be in a whole different index doing its own thing, and it has nothing to do with the VIX. So keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. They talking about Boeing. I don't really care about Boeing, for real. UPS, I'm interested.
Succeeding in ditching these low-cost e-commerce shipments in favor of, for example, complicated, expensive healthcare packages.
Go see UPS.
And Truist says companies executing well, they expect earnings to inflect. Again, though, some of that upside is baked into the back half of the year, so investors, they're going to have to wait a bit to get the final confirmation here. And the stock still trades below where it did before they announced that glide down, as they call it.
So some of the pressures from fuel, they say, are going to start to alleviate themselves. What about other costs, like labor costs for them?
Labor costs, that was another potential negative in the report.
Like, these websites are getting good, man. Like, look at this. UPS reported strong Q2 2020 earned, beating revenue, EPS estimates, and raised its full-year guidance amid mixed market backdrop. UPS performance highlights its resilience in the logistics sector.
They have been growing revenue. They've been offsetting that
I love this.
But it's still a pain point for Wall Street right now.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much for joining on those UPS earnings. Bloomberg's Matthew Griffin. And later today,
UPS stock rises? Where?
Will be joining the close. That's at 3:30 p.m.
Where? This is not rising, gang.
Just 20 minutes to play for
it rose,
start of your trading
and then
day.
it fell.
Down. It's the Nasdaq down 0.6%. Not nearly as bad as we saw in the Kospi sector.
Let's see if we can join the call. Let's see what they talking. Oh, you gotta sign in. Forget that. This is interesting. I like UPS. Let's see. Where did I buy UPS at? Let's go here since we already got y'all. Y'all can see my whole damn thing. I wasn't played for y'all to see my whole thing. I had bought UPS at like 96, 90 something. Yeah, I was dabbling in the 90s. So if it drops down, I'm a fan of UPS, really 84. I'm a big fan of UPS at the 84 level. Let's see.
To what we're best at. And oh, by the way, did I mention service? I should have. We continue to lead the pack in terms of on-time delivery. Best in class.
This is live, y'all.
Thank you. Your next question's coming from Jonathan Chappell from Evercore ISI. Your line is live.
Thank you. Good morning. Brian, you've obviously done a lot of heavy lifting, getting the costs aligned with the Amazon glide down. If you look to the demand environment today relative to where it was 18 months ago, obviously a ton has changed with tariffs and de minimis and fuel and war, et cetera.
Yes.
How do you feel about the capacity on the go forward? Do you think that you're in a situation where you're right-sized on the 2H 26, 27 kind of demand outlook, or is there more trimming or even growth that needs to be done?
It's a question about the future.
Side, just given the ebbs and flows of demand over the last 18 months.
Thanks, John, for the question. And first, I'd be remiss if I didn't say there are thousands of UPSers that delivered those benefits. So it wasn't just myself or the executive team. We've got a lot of people that worked really hard to help get the network to where it is. And I do think that, with your question, the capacity is in a really good place, right? I mentioned some of the stats of the Amazon drawdown. This is what we've been targeting. We've been targeting trying to get to an optimal capacity for the delivery volume that we anticipate having in the U.S. So that's kind of step one, check we've gotten.
It's always
now,
good to
second
watch the
piece, as
market
Carol
and
mentioned,
the talk at
the
the same time.
automation that we put in now gives us more flexibility to scale that capacity, right? The automated hubs give us the ability to add throughput much faster than what we used to have to do with conventional hubs. And our network is getting much smarter about how we can scale down, not just from month to month or peak to non-peak, but even day to day and week to week. So we feel really good about that.
Is he going to talk him
we
into
think that it
greatness?
aligns really well with the demand environment and what we think we'll see at peak seasons now, that we've got a much more manageable peak with a more stable set of customers.
Now, I feel very good about the capacity. Just to put the automation percentage into perspective, because what does 68 mean? It's the equivalent year on year of 337 million more packages going through automation than we had a year ago.
Okay, throw the big numbers out.
Tremendous amount of capacity to pull more volume through. And we're ready for it. We're ready for it. And as you heard, if you ignore Amazon and the volume that we intentionally made available to the market, we actually grew our volume in the second quarter.
Thank you, Carol and Brian.
See, the issue is, of course you love to hear all that greatness as an investor. But the truthful is, if we can't get a hold on oil prices, UPS is cooked. UPS is cooked. It's just, these companies have these set numbers for the oil, and they never expect oil to go from 90 a barrel to 120 a barrel in a year span. But I'm assuming that the government would come in and help out of such a thing. But like Amazon, all these companies that are dependent on oil, Amazon, UPS, Lyft, all the airlines, life can get, that's why tickets are expensive. They talking over here. I don't want to even hear that lady. 20 minutes to 16 minutes to open.
Communications segment with AI infrastructure acting now as this primary growth driver. Photonics revenue also is not expected to begin contributing meaningfully now until 2027.
I like Amazon, but I like Amazon at a
current investments and future
low 200.
And future growth assumptions depend on
I'm gonna buy, I see it going down that way. I need you to keep.
That it could expect grow now.
I'm cool with Amazon in this range right here. This is where I like Amazon.
A relatively small group of hyperscalers, which is also a risk. And also their 2030 sales target right now does
this is where I need Amazon, low 200.
Execution.
When's the earnings? July 30th.
Over the next 4 years. So it does seem like there's still a lot of the Corning story that needs to be proven to investors. But there isn't really a clear cause for what sent shares spiraling right away from this report.
They did beat Q1.
And again, long time frames like 2027, 2028 is when we start to see some of these meaningful sales. But there is still some really stellar growth numbers in this report that we're just paying not really any mind to this morning, Nicole.
Okay, so right now, a couple of big names, right? We're talking about Corning. We also have PayPal, Coca-Cola,
so last time they
Sandisk.
reported
just
ain't
a
really,
few. And then, of course, tomorrow, Meta, Microsoft,
went up a little bit,
and
not
Apple,
too crazy.
Amazon. So, Jenny, we're going to be very busy these few days. Thank you, Jenny Horn. We'll catch you at 1 o'clock on Next Gen Investing. Coming up, folks, Jim
a lot of stocks are selling off despite the earnings, man. This is a very scary time for investors. Like I told y'all the other day, I almost made the mistake and took a bet on Google, man, and Google beat every single metric and still went down by like $20. I was actually like, wow, it can just be like that. You don't bet them the right way, and that's it. It's cooked. There goes your money. That's the scary part about the options. Lakers owner financial empire reportedly targeted federal loan fraud investigation. Listen, y'all, the Lakers. Hold on. Didn't the Lakers just get sold? Listen. I ain't gonna lie, there'd be a lot going on in this sports world when it comes to money, and I'm still trying to understand the Kawhi Leonard thing. I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but over $16 billion possible fraudulent loans. that Walter owns were made to companies tied to him or his. Okay, but we're not disclosed as. Okay. Huh. This is big money stuff, man. This is big money stuff. Like, there's regular crimes, and then there's them shirt and tie crimes that, you know, it's all numbers and paperwork and confusion to the average person that don't know what's going on. But okay, was Meta today? I didn't think Meta was today. I thought Meta was tomorrow. Yeah, Meta's tomorrow, man. What's up with all these reports, man? These headlines be really trying to get you, like. Meta, like, I don't like when they be lying. Yeah, Meta will report. So why is this? Alright, Meta to report. Did I miss that? To report? Did I miss that line? Oh, I did miss that line. Meta to report. My bad, y'all. I can't read. Damn. I like this headline. Gen Z say selling their second-hand stuff online is teaching them more about business than college, and 85% of hiring managers agree. Listen, I've learned more about business in the hustle versus when I was in school, but school still gave you an experience. It gave me an experience that I'll never be able to get in the real world. But I do agree. Having a little side hustle will teach you about business. You may lose, you may win, you may break even, but you learn about the hustle and you learn how to make a profit. Some people don't. Some people just learn how to just make losses, right? That's the beauty of the game. Not everybody gonna make it. Okay, 85% of hiring managers say candidates should be listing their recent experience on their resume, and they even be more likely to interview an equally qualified candidate if they had it over one who didn't. See, that's weird, because how do you list, like, yeah, I'm a side hustler? Like, the resume has gotten so, like, overwhelming in this world, because, like, it's supposed to be, like, one page that explains everything that you've done in this world, but to this employer, but then you're supposed to cater it to whatever job you're applying to, and then how, you know, some things are kind of irrelevant for that job, so you don't need to have your whole life on this one page. And then is one page is even enough? I hate resumes personally, because I never feel like they speak on who I am as a person. So I like to just send videos so I can talk to you and explain how I'm feeling. 9 minutes until the morning bell. Let's not forget what we're doing here, y'all. Let's not forget what we're doing here from 8:45 to 9:45 in the mornings. We hear morning bell with Shy. We're going to bring more awareness to that morning bell, because when it rings at 9:30, that means people are making money, and I need us.
About microcaps, but it's been
I need us to be making money, y'all.
If you're a small microcap value investor, it's been a challenging 10 years, whether it's been
micro caps. So there's many industries,
the Mag
man.
7, which I love the Mag 7 because they buy a lot of our company's products. So it's really a unique time. Valuations are extremely attractive.
He's capping, y'all.
And the opportunity is great.
He's super
the other issue, and people don't talk about it, I don't think
valuations is not attractive right now.
It's actually doing pretty good. And,
everything is trading beyond its
microcap,
earnings. I'm looking at this.
Domestic manufacturer having a strong economy helps a lot.
So they just be getting on there and lying to y'all.
There's been 10 to 12
value's looking attractive. Value is not looking attractive, gang. Everything is at its highest point, and that's not attractive valuation. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry to break it to you. Let's talk about Nokia, y'all. Like, there's been an AI sell-off, but I really do like Nokia as far as like the AI digital infrastructure. You know, a lot of us think of Nokia has phones from back in the day, but the Nokia of 2026, the Nokia of the new era is internet infrastructure, connectivity infrastructure, building systems to make sure people are connected at high speeds. You know, they've really, I got to give it to that CEO. I forgot his name. But I had a feeling that when he came in that he was going to turn things around. And boy, has he turned things around. Stock has sold off over the last month. But it was up there. It was beautiful to watch it go all the way up to 1673. I did not sell. I kept on. You know, this kind of has boosted my confidence in Nokia. Will it get back to 16? We will see. We'll see. I think they need a few more contracts. And then of course you gotta beef up the earnings. They beat EPS last quarter, but they missed on revenue. The last 2 quarters. So if they can get, it's always weird when they don't add the numbers in here, but if they can get some type of positivity 2 quarters in a row, 2 to 3 quarters in a row, that's going to be huge because they haven't been able to hit on revenue. Hitting on revenue is not common for them. So yes, they need more contracts. That's just going to help everything kind of push forward. December 2025, they made $6 billion. What happened to that? What happened with all that?
But this name in the industrial space right now
These
under
are the
some
worst stocks to
pressure,
be
I guess,
looking
on the
at.
heels
My
of
man's
the quarterly
capping.
report.
Those are just like
what is
listen,
a lateral well?
Hold on.
And
we need to point something out here, right?
TB.
Because this man, his camera is so nasty, but he's trying to tell y'all he got picks. Brother, if you had some good picks, your camera wouldn't look this ashy, bro. If you was making real money on True Blue right now, no. He bought True Blue in the high 6s and it went down. And he needs more people to buy True Blue, right? So he can maximize profit. Clearly, he's not making profit. Look at his camera. His camera ashy. Like I ain't even fully set up the cam today, and we looking alright. We could go on there and look a lot more presentable than my guy right here. He thinks because he got a shirt and tie on. I know he got shorts on. He had the crib, so I'm never believing anybody with their camera looking all gloomy like that. Right? That tells me something. You ain't even have the decency to get a new iPhone or a webcam or any type of setup because you knew you was gonna be on camera. I don't like it. Jim, I don't believe in your picks, big dog. Don't believe in your picks, big dog. Oh, okay.
Watching all of these companies very closely to see
PayPal.
how the landscape develops,
4 minutes
who
till
wins,
opening
who
bell,
loses,
y'all.
what deals happen, and frankly, what deals don't happen.
I mean,
See, I need PayPal to do good because I'm invested in Block, and if PayPal does good, Block does good because they're in the same. Usually, they're in the same.
I mean, that's also, a buy now, pay later, but it's a UK firm. There's also been Brazilian firms who are.
What y'all think about the buy now,
listed
pay
in the US.
later?
How much of
Y'all
isn't just
rocking with
US
it, or
competition, but it's very much so international.
So we've reported it pretty extensively on this, actually, of these entities that are
What's this
moving
mean?
into
Did
the
my man
US
give
and
me-
again, also trying to vie for the same customers.
Right.
So it's like they're certainly, to keep it all in perspective, right? Like the American consumer pie, if you will, is huge. There are a lot of pieces to go around, and there are a lot of different
few
services
minutes
to
till
go around.
opening bell?
I,
I
for
got
example,
different
use,
times all over
I have
because
a
I got
primary banking relationship, but I
9:25
might
here,
also have a buy
9:27
now,
here.
pay later
What time is it,
relationship
y'all?
with a few providers. I have a couple of credit cards. Like there are a lot of different opportunities to gain the same consumer, but it's still really competitive, and your terms and your opportunities and your incentives need to be very, very competitive to vie for those consumers.
It's so interesting. Again, excellent reporting throughout all of this. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Bloomberg's Paige Smith. Let's get a check on your equity markets. Just minutes to go until your opening bell, and it continues to be that follow through from a
Minutes to
very
go.
negative Kospi session, one of their worst since the early
Minutes to
2000s.
go.
Even so, it is an S&P that continues to gain. We did ever so slightly gain yesterday, except for tech. And then meanwhile, yields are coming in, so that's helping the overall market. Yields in turn are being helped.
This might
by
be a
Brent
good
crude down
time to buy,
2%. Even so,
pick up
still
some
a 1
tech
in
if
3
tech
odds
continues to
that
pull
this is a
back.
Fed that hikes tomorrow. Coming up on the show, Katrina.
Nah, I would say if the Fed hikes tomorrow, everything is cooked. Like everything. Everything. Everything is cooked, y'all. I would be completely surprised if the market goes a different way. Truthfully, I'd be shocked.
I think there's a lot going on in the tech space. And if you look at the parabolic move that a lot of these chip names had in the first half of 2026.
I need shit. I'm finna steal this whole. They got a whole. Did I hit pause? My bad, gang.
Good, solid earnings.
I'm looking at their programming schedule.
Already reported over 150 S&P 500 companies have reported the beat rates over 85% on the EPS, over 70% on revenue also. So yeah, there's a lot to kind of digest here, but the chip stocks remain under pressure.
And yeah, without a doubt. I mean, when I woke up and I saw the Kospi down 10%, it was like one of those rub your eye moments. And you're like, is this just today? You know, and then when I saw
2 minutes into the bell, y'all know what's going on.
Indices were behaving. You know, when I saw the NASDAQ futures down, but the S&P and Dow were managing to keep the green, I didn't really think that you could necessarily have such a disconnect, because sometimes as the semis go, so goes the whole market. So let's get to also the big story about OpenAI, NVIDIA. You have Jensen Huang, Sam Altman heading to Washington. There are a lot of urgent AI discussions after the OpenAI agent broke out. There's a lot of discussions to be had, right?
Yeah, definitely. NVIDIA starting that coalition with other companies, including Dell, CrowdStrike, others, GitHub in here, Adobe. So this is probably a benefit. They want to kind of go to the administration and say, hey, we need these open sourced models to run, to not lose any ground to China. China's coming up with their own models. They're open source. They're cheaper to run. That's a concern here moving forward for these companies, and they don't want to fall behind in this AI race. I think that's what they're going to kind of push on the administration and congressional members over the next couple of days when they meet with them. And that backstop that they provided.
We got 1 minute left, and then I got some other stuff I want to talk about, man.
Because the stock, NVIDIA stock was up initially yesterday morning in the pre-market, and then immediately sold off on that news, where NVIDIA is outlaying all this capital with these partnerships to kind of, you know, source these data, data center build-outs. And that's going to be a concern maybe down the road, where it becomes into the debt discussion on the amount of money that these companies need to build these out. So that's going to be a concern.
The most important, we still haven't got a bell, y'all, but we're going to get a bell soon. And
right now.
we're going to be in here ringing in 30 seconds, y'all, which I already think the market's kind of already open, but I could be wrong.
So there's a disconnect there, and that's
something
that investors have to try to figure out here.
I shouldn't be even shaking this. This is a part for one of my cameras.
Show how the valuation has really changed on NVIDIA, making it.
Let's go. 10 seconds. I'll lightly shake it. I don't want to break this.
Right. Thank you. Time for the opening bell.
Let's go. Opening bell. Y'all hear it. Y'all hear it. There it is, y'all. The market is open. One day I'm going to go up there. We're going to be up there one day. The market is open. Yo, y'all know I just found out the big three, the basketball league is now they went public with the I forgot. They went with a SCAT. I forgot what it's called. A SCAT. I forgot what it's called, y'all. But they went public if you're interested.
Not surprised. The S&P is down 3 points, 74.09. The
I knew
NASDAQ
it.
is down. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Down 0.9% at 27,789.
Could have been worse.
We saw the Kospi down 10%. You might have thought that an SK Hynix and Samsung.
S&P was up 0.08 pre-market, down 2%.
The Dow right now at 405 points. The Russell is losing just 1 point. This is oil and gold are both to the downside. The VIX is at 18.60.
It's not crazy. You just sometimes pre-market don't tell you everything, or it's like misleading. I usually go opposite of what. I usually go opposite of what pre-market going.
A short time ago, and that is down right now 14%.
Let's see UPS.
A lot more movers to speak of.
UPS strong.
Diane King
strong drop.
Looking at the first moves on Wall Street,
they still dropping.
With Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean lower this morning after a strong trailing earnings, but a mixed guidance.
Everything is dropping right now.
Indeed. So troubles on the high seas right now for Royal Caribbean with that stock under pressure.
Shout out to Diane King.
It did do better than expected in the trailing quarter, much better than expected.
I've never been on one of them boats. Like, I would need someone to tell me what the experience is like. You know, I see people on it all the time, but me personally, I have not been on one of them boats. I do not want to go on one of them boats. It's a little scary to me. It's a little scary. Yeah, so
it's not a
but
broad
I do
demand.
know people who go on them all the time. All right, the bell's moving, the market's going. Hold on, we're getting some gains. Gotta kill the pop-ups. Have any of y'all been interested in SpaceX? SpaceX really, and I don't know if it's like, if it drops to $50, I may be interested in SpaceX at that point. You know, this thing's just been going down since it opened up. Sorry, y'all. They're doing landscape out there. I'm trying to. They couldn't wait 10 more minutes till we finished. Sheesh. All right. Let me see how bad it is, cause if it's bad, damn, Nokia down 5. If it's bad, then that means I'm gonna have to cut it off early. Let's see. I can't be had. I know I can hear it. I can hear it clearly. So if I could hear a little something, I don't know. Let's see.
Last year for several years now, but they delivered a clean earnings beat, $1.38 for earnings on an adjusted basis, better than expected by 10 cents. Revenue also coming in better than expected at $8.68 billion. Total payment volume rose 9%. So that is overall, this is just a clean beat. Investors wanted proof that PayPal can move the needle on its turnaround story, that it can grow profitability, that it can grow, not just process more payments, not just hold on to the consumers that use the platform so far. The big win here, guidance also increased. They raised their full year adjusted earnings per share.
I wonder how PayPal, like,
it's a subtle shift, but it is meaningful here because the turnaround is the story. We've been looking for that. Venmo's evolving. The company says Venmo is becoming more than just a peer-to-peer payments app. They're calling it a money management platform now.
And they're not rolling out
deals. You mentioned deals. They've been on a target list. We've seen some reports on that about.
I feel like PayPal is just so outdated, like compared to like a Cash App or a Robinhood.
Yeah, I checked it a short time ago, and the move was fractional, so 1/10 of 1%, and now it's up 3% plus. So
yeah,
really
I'm not
shows
trusting
a quick
that.
move there, and appetite for PayPal.
This is the one I like.
Last but not least, looking at Coca-Cola, got a
This is the
real
one I like right here.
volume growth from the World Cup. That was some good news.
I know.
This is the one I like.
And those shares are moving higher today, continuing to add to the momentum that we've seen so far this year in that stock. That one's been an outperformer compared to the S&P 500 and in the sector as well.
Unfortunately, I live in Coca-Cola County, so Coca-Cola is all over the place over here. Damn, I didn't even get to make my tea, y'all. All right, gang. I think we're gonna cut off early because I do not like that they're doing landscaping while this is going on. But I feel like we've learned a lot today, and I'm not even tripping. Like I'm actually hype about what we learned today and what we've spoken about today, and you know, I'm not sure if there's much left to talk about. But I appreciate y'all watching. For everyone who's made it this far, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:45 to 9:45. Even though I'm cutting out early, some days it's gonna be like this. I need y'all to be ready for whenever we cut out early. But just know, you know, we back in this, and let's continue making money. Let's look for opportunities, And let's pay attention, because that rate hike is what's most important this week. So you already know. You already know how we gonna do it. Appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow.